Hello, my name is Arthur Campbell. I went to Korea in February 1952. I left for Korea in February. I landed in Korea in March of 1952. It took us a month to get from our camp in Petawawa, Ontario. It took us a month to get over to Korea. They put us on a terrible ship. It must have been made in Japan or China back in that day, because it broke down halfway across the ocean.
The ship broke down?
The ship broke down. The big propeller stopped propelling. So thank God it had a little propeller on it, which kicked in. But consequently, because we used the little propeller, it took us twice as long to get across the ocean, which was not very nice. It was not very nice. But we made it. We landed in Japan. We stayed in the dry docks in Japan for about 3 days until they fixed the ship. And then we went on to Korea. I liked Japan. It was very nice. It was occupied at the time. Being so close to the Second World War, it was still occupied. And the occupation troops that were there were Australian. Nice guys, big. They were all 6'2", 6'3". But they had the bad habit of thinking, because they occupied Japan, that we weren't allowed to touch anything. Excuse me, I won't be vulgar, but we were all young guys and we liked girls. So we would go to the dance hall. You would buy a ticket, and the ticket would allow you to dance with a girl. We spent a lot of money on tickets. I did. Then while you're dancing, a big Australian would come along and say, "I'm cutting in." And you, "No, you're not." So we had a lot of arguments with the Australians. But we still had a girl. Then we moved on to Korea. And it was terrible. It was terrible. People were poor. The cities, it was awful. It was the most... I shouldn't be doing this. It was awful. I never went back. I had 2 or 3 chances to go back, but it just bothered me so much.
So I just let the water get steam for as much as you like.
And I'm not over it yet. When you first come in, you were talking about because of the troops that were there, United Nations, not just Canadians, United Nations. And because of them, you, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, are here now. That's true. That's very, very true, because the amount of children, fatherless children, wonderful ladies that were just doing anything to keep their kids. It was terrible. So I'm proud, I'm happy about that. But I'm not going to get into anything as far as as far as the terrible things that happened, I can't do it. And I won't do it.
And how about, so back here in Canada, you're very active in the association. What are some of the things that the association, what you've been doing as part of the association to ensure that Canadians don't forget?
What I have done, because I am the youngest, and thank God, I'm still in fairly good physical condition. And I'm one of the few in the club. Now, Dave and I are both very active. Dave is an organizer. He can get things moving. Excuse me. I, on the other hand, are more of a hands-on type of guy. I can set up meetings, I can set up our picnics. I'm like a babysitter to most guys that can't move. Like I'm taking care of Ken. Ken and I are dear friends. I pick him up, take him home. I take care of him. I'm sure you know this, he has a little problem with dementia. And so, yes, what I do is humanitarian things, really. I love the guys, they love me, get along together. If I say to them, hey, we're going to the Wall of Remembrance in July, and this is January. When? 19th of July. Okay. They're ready to go. I'll make sure there's transportation for them to and from, and things like this. I'm not wonderful, though. I'm just one of the guys that can still help.
You're the one behind the scenes that move things.
I guess you could say that, yes.
Yeah, because there's an organizer, there's a planner, but somebody has to do logistics. Logistics.
Yep.
Well, you said that it's very painful for you to think about and remember and even visit Korea because of the horrors that you've seen and witnessed in the war. But it is true that Korea still has not achieved peace. What do you think about that, and what do you hope maybe?
Well, I pray to God that it does. I'm terrified of that friggin' idiot they got running North Korea, the little fat guy. All he talks about is bombs. Oh, I don't like him. We're too old. But I'm telling you, if they needed instructors, there's still a lot of guys are capable. I'd go back in a blink of your eye. I would go back.
To fight for Korea's peace?
As an instructor. I couldn't climb one of those mountains, no. Not unless you got me a big billy goat that could carry me.
So, even as an instructor, you would leave your family even now to go back?
Right now, I have families. I have 13 grandchildren.
Wow.
8 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren. My wife, God bless her, she passed away in 2008. She was a little girl, 4'11", beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Italian, black hair, brown eyes, body. Oh, she was gorgeous, and she had a stroke through diabetes. Gone, but thank God she didn't suffer. So, to answer your question, I've got a family. I've got my kids, but They're all grown up. They don't need me anymore. They don't need me. They visit, they feed me, they phone. How are you, Dad? Come on down Sunday. Which I do after church. I always drop in and see them. But when the day comes that you've got no one that depends on you, really, you're taking up space. After my wife passed away, it was terrible. It was terrible. And yeah, I'd go back. I would go back. You bet. I've got too much involved. Too much involved in that country. Too much of me. There's too much of me still there. When I come home, yeah, I wasn't the same Arthur that came home as the Arthur that went. Okay, sweetie?
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. And you made everything, you and the thousands like you, made it worthwhile.
Thank you.
Okay? Love you.